And they are an early, as you see, 19.5-point favorite to do it again. The other semifinal this year is number 3 Ohio State against number 2 Clemson in the All-State Sugar Bowl. That one's also New Year's Day. These teams met in the semis last year. That was a great game that Clemson won by a final score of 29-23. And there is always one of the beauties of the system, whether you love it or hate it, is it always creates a lot of conversation afterwards. Texas A&M finished 5. Oklahoma finished 6. Dan Orlovsky, do you believe the committee got it right?
No, I think Texas A&M should have been in. You know, like here's my issue. I had both Ohio State and Texas A&M in back-to-back weeks. There's no way that I can sit here and tell everybody that Ohio State is a better football team than Texas A&M. There's no way that I could sit here and tell everybody that they are a more deserving football team than Texas A&M. There's no way that I could sit here and say they earned their way in more than Texas A&M. I think Jimbo Fisher said it well. Like, to have the 7 straight wins in the SEC is a big deal. And the fact that they play in the West with Alabama, if they can't win every game that's on their schedule outside of the Alabama game, they're never going to get in then. Like, what happens if Alabama continues to be Alabama? Then where are you telling Texas A&M they'll never be able to be in the college football playoff? I think Ohio State's a good football team, but I think Texas A&M is just as good. And my last thing would be this. I heard people saying yesterday, and I heard Paul Feinbaum say today, that he believes that the committee didn't want to do the Alabama versus Texas A&M matchup again. That's not their job. Their job is to pick the 4 best teams, not to worry about matchups, the 4 best teams. And there was nothing definitive that has said Ohio State was better than Texas A&M.
RC, what do you think?
No, I agree. I agree with Dan 100%. And listen, I never want to, get on here and boast or say that teams other than LSU should be in anything. But this is true. Texas A&M earned their right, and they understood after losing to Alabama the way that they did that they had to continue winning. And you weren't going to have cupcakes. It was going to be an SEC team after SEC team each and every week. And when you watch the Ohio State Buckeyes, you don't look at that team and say that they're a top 4 team in the college football landscape. You don't look at that team and say that they have played that level of ball. Yes, they are the name. Yes, they came into the year with the quarterback. And yes, they fought to be in this position. But you think about the NCAA, you think about the Big Ten and all the concessions that have been made throughout this season to say that the Ohio State Buckeyes belong. They said it early on when they were picking the teams to be in the top 25. They said it late when they said, you know what, we're going to make a concession so they can be in the championship game. They do not deserve it. They did not earn it. And this was the year that the college football playoff committee could have gotten it right. It's 2020. It's a pandemic. Too many things are going on. You can say that another team could have been in and they didn't do it. They missed the boat this time. They missed an opportunity to be different and to be fair, and that's not right.
Rex, these were the 4 teams that I think most people expected to hear yesterday. Were they the right 4 teams?
Absolutely not. And when I look at it, it's Texas A&M. First off, when you don't want to see that game in the first round, then move Texas A&M to 3rd. They're the 3rd best team. You don't go through and win 7 SEC games. All right, Ohio State won 6 games total in the Big Ten. No offense to the Big Ten, but they ain't the SEC. And then when you look at it, Notre Dame, anytime Notre Dame is in the ballpark to get in, they're getting in.
They get in.
And I thought it was interesting. The chairman of the committee is from Iowa, right?
The Big Ten of Iowa,
the
correct.
AD, of Iowa. It's amazing how a Big Ten team got in there. And I'm sorry, but they're going to get waxed.